Hey, what's up YouTube? I'm creating this video to talk about the serial killer, Ted Bundy, and how I think he was influenced by a reptilian. Because if you watch his interviews on YouTube, you could see that, as he's talking throughout his interviews, you could constantly see his tongue flickering, like a reptile. And, like reptilians are known to do, they have that quick, fast, almost that speed of light kind of, tongue flicker to them. That's very abnormal when it comes to when it comes to people. You rarely ever see that shit unless somebody's like a psychopath or some shit like that. One of these reptilians. And what I also find interesting though is that I want to say I'm a pretty big fan of Chinese astrology, although I know very little about it. I'm definitely no expert, but I do find it pretty damn interesting, and I also find it pretty damn interesting that Ted Bundy was born in the year of the fire dog. So if you add his Chinese zodiac aspect to the reptilian influence, then I think it would make pretty good sense to why he did what he did, as in being a serial rapist and murderer. Like for example, dogs. What are dogs known for? Dogs are like the most perverted animals on the planet. You constantly see dogs sniffing each other's butts. You constantly see them humping everything, that moves, or and I've even seen dogs hump shit that doesn't move. But dogs are, and don't get me wrong, I don't like, I don't hate dogs. I love dogs. I always been that person that has always been a dog lover. And they're probably not my favorite animal, but they're definitely an animal I show a lot of respect for. But anyways, dogs are known to be perverted animals. And then him being a fire dog on top of that, what does the element fire represent? I think it represents passion, love, sex, aggressiveness, the heat of the moment. So him being a dog, and then him being born into the fire element too on top of that, and then the reptilian influence on top of that, I think it's a pretty big recipe for disaster. And but yeah, that's the main reason why. That's pretty much all I have to say, and I just found that pretty interesting. Especially when it comes to Chinese zodiac animals and all that. I think if one's psychic enough, if they're psychic enough to the point where they could sense energy, read it, get the feel for it, and they could look into people's eyes and they could tell, what zodiac animal they belong to, and you can also tell whether they're human or reptiles, reptilians, or aliens of some sort. You can just tell in their eyes that they're not exactly, possessed. They're not exactly, a human spirit isn't exactly in that human vessel of theirs. But yeah, that's all I got to say. And let's have a good one.